Scarlett Johansson did nothing wrong. And I'm going to tell you what a lot of you already know. I just think it's interesting to look at a narrative, look at people upset on other people's behalf, and it's an opportunity to roast my biggest pet peeve, and that is hypocrisy. Now, Scarlett Johansson is probably what you would consider a B-level actress who's best known for her roles as Black Widow, probably, or her role in Ghost in the Shell, most recently. And she's been taking heat for taking a role as a transgender person in a film, some rub and tug film. A movie that I'm not sure is a big fan of all of this attention because Scarlett Johansson played it perfectly. She had accepted a role as a transgender male in a movie. Now, just so most of you know, I know some of you probably know this, but maybe not all of you. Scarlett Johansson is actually not Black Widow. Like, she's not actually friends with the Incredible Hulk. That's just a role she plays in the movie. But apparently, one's sexuality is important when you are accepting a job doing what you do. Her job is to be an actress. And she was acting, like I said, not really friends with the Incredible Hulk. But she issued a statement after taking 2 weeks of heat in light of recent ethical questions raised surrounding my casting as Dante Tex Grill. I have decided to respectfully withdraw my participation in the project, said Johansson in a statement. Now, she took heat for her role in Ghost in the Shell, which, whether or not you liked that movie, had nothing to do with who was playing it. This is Hollywood virtue signaling for people who never really cared. Most regular folks don't care, but this is what the shill media writes about, and this is what is important to them. She goes on to say, our cultural understanding of transgender people continues to advance, and I've learned a lot from the community since making my statement about my casting and realized it was insensitive. The actress continued, I have a great admiration and love for the trans community, and I am grateful that the conversation regarding inclusivity in Hollywood continues. In other words, she was bullied out of her job. It was a job that she applied for and was cast in. If anybody should have received any ire, it should be the person who cast her. Imagine accepting a job because that's what you do for a living, and then having the entire internet up in an uproar about you doing your job. It was absurd. Now, of course,
we have breaking news that Scarlett Johansson has
this
exited
stupid
Rub and Tug.
website plays ads, and people are going to talk about how woke it is and how great it is. Rub and Tug tells the story of Jean Marie Grill, who was assigned female, who was female at birth, but who assumed the identity of a man, Dante Tex Grill, and operated a massage parlor and prostitution business in Pittsburgh in the 70s and 80s. While it's unclear how Grill, who died in 2003, identified, an obituary in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette notes that he ran his parlors while insisting that she was a man and telling everyone that she wanted to be known as Mr. Gill. So the person who is most likely to be offended isn't even alive anymore. So it's Hollywood's job. It's the shill media's job to be outraged on someone else's behalf, of course. Bustle reported that Johansson, in a statement provided by a rep, said, tell them they can be directed to Jeffrey Tambor, Jared Leto, and Felicity Huffman's reps for comment. The Hollywood Reporter was unable to confirm the statement, which references cisgender actors who have previously played award-winning trans roles. Exactly. And to point out some of what I'm talking about, the absurdity of this is Are we going to start hiring like that now for actors? Is that where we want to be as a society? And trans folks, I know I have a few trans fans out there. Is this how you want to be painted, as militant and exclusive? I doubt it. As a group of people who are fighting for inclusion and some sort of normalcy, I'm going to guess that most trans folk don't care about this. They're just trying to get on with their life. But it is the job of, the shill media to be offended for you. Is anybody out there complaining about Jim Parsons, Sheldon Cooper, playing a straight man on TV? I haven't seen that. Is anybody out there complaining about David Hyde Pierce playing Niles Crane? Is anybody out there complaining about Jane Lynch playing a straight person? Is anybody out there complaining about John Mahoney playing a straight character? Is anybody out? I mean, how about Neil Patrick Harris playing a super alpha male on television? Is anybody out there complaining that these characters are played by someone who is gay? No, of course not, because it's absurd. Why wouldn't it be equally as absurd for trans people to be complaining about someone who isn't trans playing a trans person in a movie? I mean, it is completely insane. And then you have people like Jamie Clayton, little woke person here, a blue check mark. Cheers to learning and growing. I hope you're still producing the film, Scarlett. What an incredibly opportunity to put your words into action even further. Yes, let's get lunch and talk. No, let's not. I mean, it is absolutely insane. And you can see, people aren't, even trans people are not caring for the light this paints. Just curious, no disrespect at all. Why would it be a big deal if ScarJo played that role? What would the actual harm be? I mean, nobody even understand. I do not mind that actors of any gender, nationality, or age play a role. The main thing is that their qualifications and skills allow it. I'm against someone being pushed into films for the sake of political correctness because of its orientation and gender and nationality. And this is on the GLAAD Twitter feed. Most people, from what I can see, are not big fans. But what did she but then you have people who are of course more worried about what she learned. Yeah, but what did she genuinely learn? Or has she been told to say these things? Like, has she suffered enough? Has she suffered enough for her poor decision to take a job as an actor? I mean, people, this is absurd. These people in Hollywood are actors. In case you didn't know, there's no such thing as the Incredible Hulk, or there's, did you know that, the man that plays Iron Man really isn't Iron Man? Why is the line drawn when it comes into sexuality? And furthermore, why is the line drawn only in the other direction, right? It's okay for people who are gay to play straight characters because that's woke. But the other way around, whoa. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like one of the dudes from Modern Family is straight playing gay or gay playing straight character too. Nobody cares. But there's 100 articles painting Scarlett Johansson as some kind of insensitive bigot when she's just trying to do her job. And you know what? Nobody's going to care about this in 3 months, and nobody's going to care about this movie now because they're going to be forced, if it even still gets made, to hire somebody that the apparently trans mafia is going to approve of, even though, Chris Hemsworth isn't really Thor. That's okay that he plays Thor, but it has to be some sort of special exception for trans folks, according to the media. This is not coming out of the mouths of trans people, from what I see. It's coming out of the mouths of shill media, pushing a far left agenda. And it's really sad because Scarlett Johansson really had no choice here. she had to turn down what probably was several $1,000,000 because if she took the role, then she runs the risk of being blackballed in Hollywood. So the only chance she could do, the only option she had was to politely bow out, and that is a absolute shame. I look forward to 3 people seeing this movie, but it's still getting nominated for an Oscar. Enjoy your downward spiral, Hollywood.